And welcome to Voices of Truth, one-on-one with Hawaii's future, brought to you by the Kiwani Foundation. I'm Ehu Keikahu Cardwell, and here we are today on the island of Maui, and we have a great guest. Let's go on over here and meet her. Lanakila, aloha.
Aloha.
How are you?
I'm good today.
Good.
How about you?
Wonderful, thank you.
Good.
Lanakila Willard, did I say your name right?
That's right.
Awesome. Lanakila, tell us where we are right now.
We are in the Ahupua'a of Honolua,
Uh-huh.
and this area is Honolua,
Honolua.
within that Ahupua'a of Honolua.
Wow. But I know within that Ahupua'a, we're in a very, very special place, and there's a reason we're standing in front of this road right here, yes?
Yes.
What is up?
Yes.
What is this here?
You're standing right now, you can tell by the rocks, in a part of a heiau. This is a complex, and it's a very sacred place. Honolua, there are 4 Honolua on Maui, and these areas are where the ali'i came to meet with their kahuna. This is pre-Kamehameha, way back, and they made decisions for the rest of the island. Every moku was represented by their ali'i or their konohiki here, and they brought what needed to be done here and prayed about it collectively, keeping in mind that each area had its own needs, but they understood that collectively their decisions had to work for the island. So that was done here. It's also, so it's a place where politics was done, but it's an extraordinary healing area as well. And as we work, we're finding the terraces where the medicinals were kept, and different areas are becoming known to us as we clean. And it's been very magical.
So it sounds to me like this place goes back to at least 1600, if not further back than that, yes?
At least that. We're thinking that it probably goes back to 2,500 years.
Whoa, 2,500 years.
At least. Yeah.
Wow. Now the sad part about all this is, of course, the road. This road is covering what?
Well, this road carved right through part of the heiau because this complex went all the way to the ocean.
So it was huge.
It's huge. It goes all the way to the stream, which is where that bridge is. And when we walk in the back, you can see where it goes. But it's not, many heiau you go and it's a very defined area.
Right.
This is very spread out. Yeah.
Wow, so this was a huge complex where many, many different kinds of activities occurred,
yeah.
went on, some of which were very, very unique, special, and privileged, yes?
Yes,
Wow.
to this heiau.
You mentioned the rocks a moment ago, and when we look at the rocks on the ground as we go, tell us a little bit about how you can tell by looking at these rocks that this is a heiau area.
Because of the way they're placed. You can see here, because people have traversed it a lot, that they're kind of overturned and tumbled, but if you look over there, you can see that they are still more in place.
Yeah.
And as you go up there where we started cleaning up this way, you can see the terraces, you see the rocks in a row, and then the terrace, and then rocks in a row again, and then terraces, and it goes all the way to the pali. And
All the way up?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So as we clean, it talks to us, okay, do this, okay, do that. For example, the other day I was sitting up there, and this area was covered with a lot of rubbish that had fallen or we cleared, and it kept bugging me, and I had a fire going there because we were burning up stuff there. And so finally I came down and I said, okay, I gotta move this. So I started moving this way, and something made me come here, and this pohaku was covered.
This stone right here,
This
the big
stone
one.
right here.
Wow.
And so cleaning over there, said, no, move down, move down, move down. So I came here and I said, does it make sense to do this before I do that? No, do it. And as I approached this pohaku, a column of wind came right here. And there was no wind in back of it, no wind in front of it. And it wasn't spinning, it was just doing this. I said, okay, I understand. So I took away all the rubbish, and the minute this pohaku was exposed, the wind went, phew,
Wow.
So we know now that we must never cover this pohaku. And this pohaku belongs here. It was intentionally placed here. For what reason, we don't yet know. But we know we have to keep it clean, you know. And you can see the rocks are laid, you know. There.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
We have things like that every day here. Every day. We have kupuna come to visit us. We don't know they're there, so we don't go down to help them. They cannot get up the steps. And the last kupuna who came, she had one other person with her. And she came up here and she said, "Who was that young man with the 2 dogs?" "What young man?" "Help me up the steps." I said, "Auntie, there's nobody here but us." He said, "No, there was a young man there. When I turned around, he was gone." I said, "Oh, that's your family. He came to help you up the steps, you know." So those things, they're here.
Right.
They're here.
So the elders come, the kupuna come.
The kupuna come.
And help out.
They come to talk story. We don't let them work. It's kind of been a place that some of them knew about, some of them didn't know. But now they're able to come. That's why the chairs are here.
So they sit here and talk story.
Talk story.
Wonderful.
They come and first they're awed, like, "What is this?" You know, I didn't know this was here. I had one auntie come who I have known all my time on Maui. And when I first started coming, I would park across there.
Right.
And she said, "Lanakila, what are you doing in Honolua? I see your car over there every day," because she lives in Honokahau. I said, "Oh, Tutu June, I'm trying to clean the heiau." And she said, "Oh, can I go look?" I said, "Of course." So we met out here, and at that time, I didn't come through here. I would go around to the entrance. And she said, "You know," we got up over there. She said, "You know, I have never come in here." She lived across there until the tidal wave, but she never came in here. But she knew it was here because her great-grandfather was the last practicing kahuna here.
Really?
That's a sad statement to me that she could not come in here because somebody said they owned it and told her, "No, you cannot go on top." There's something very wrong with that. Yeah. So now she can come whenever she likes.
So what about the Lanakila? What about these walls here? This is part of it, right?
This is part of it.
And those walls over there, and
way
over there,
and way over there, and over there.
Wow.
And where that big monkey paw tree is,
right?
The wall goes down there. And if when you stand on the road and you look back at where they cut through, you can see where another wall was bordering there to a certain place. So if the wall only went to a certain place, it must mean that this area continued down to wherever the next wall was. And inside here, there's a very different feeling when you're in there. And you're welcome to go in there when you want. But if you look, it looks like this area was a stage, yeah?
Yes,
And so when we first came here to clean, the feeling was, we didn't even know that was there.
Is that right? Because it was all covered over, huh?
It was covered up. It was covered, look like that up there. So our feeling was that we would clean a trail around the perimeter of the big chamber so the kupuna have an easy access when they want to go. When we went in there, we found this. We have since come to realize that we need to do a ceremony of the fallen chiefs, and it needs to be done in there. And so our efforts have shifted into preparing for that.
Wow.
Which we hope to be doing within the next 2 weeks. It'll be a 24-hour burning and a specific time period of prayer. Yeah. This out here, we're feeling like it should just be a gathering point where people can come and not be mindful and be reverent, but not restricted as if they were in there, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Lanakila, do you have any idea how many acres this entire complex originally was?
Not yet. This area has never been documented. From here to Kahakaloa, everything in between there has never really been inventoried. There's 5 or 6 inventories floating around for the area, but you have to keep in mind who initiated those studies. They're very incomplete. They show this area, they don't even show this area.
Really?
They show the main chamber, but they don't show this.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, yeah. Across the street where those guardrails are, there's burials there. And another person who comes to help us, we call him Uncle Russell from Kahakaloa because there's so many Russells, so he's the Russell from Kahakaloa. When he was a little boy, he would come with his father to clean those graves. And he was very young when his father died also, unfortunately. So he is now, that is his kuleana. So he has been up here helping us with this. His work is going to shift to that. Because now we have people going in there that they don't have, it's not their fault, they don't know what's there. So they're trampling on it and it's overgrown. And the other day I sat up here and I watched mopeds go in and out of there and I just thought, oh my God. So he's going to clear it and we're going to fence the area where the burials are in. You know,
And the
so.
burials go back, what, hundreds of years, thousands of years?
Yes, yes. There's burials in the back too.
Wow.
And you know they're very old because of the way, and they must have been very special people because it's a big mound of not small, but big pohaku, so you
Big
cannot
stones.
move them. Yeah.
Wow.
So somebody very special is back there. We don't know who yet. Maybe we'll never know, but it doesn't matter. We know it's a person. There's Evie there, and so we must take care of it. When I got called to this place, I talked to a kahuna lady, and she told me I had a dream about this place. I didn't know it was here. But in this dream, I saw certain things, and I was at Mailekini on the Big Island. And so I went to the kupuna and I told her what I saw. And she says, oh, Lanakila, you gotta go home and call Maui Land and Pine, that's in Honolua. And she explained to me exactly where it was. I said, Anake, I don't want that job. And I kind of giggled and she said, don't laugh at me, that is your job. I said, Auntie, when I moved to Maui from Molokai, I said, Pop, I had done enough. I didn't want to fight anymore. The constant battling for what you know inside of you had taken its toll. What I didn't understand at the time was it really didn't take its toll. I was being trained for this battle. At the time when I received that calling at my Likini, I said, no way, I'm not doing it. I'm not taking on Maui Land and Pine, that's just crazy. She said, no, laugh, Lanakila, that's your job. So we came home. I had a little restaurant in Lahaina at the time. I couldn't let go of that thought. It was constantly bugging me. So finally I gave in. I called Maui Land and Pine. I'll never forget this. It was a Friday, and Monday was Veterans Day. It was a long weekend, so I called. Chicken, yeah, I call it 3 o'clock, right? Long weekend. Like that, boom, the guy said, okay, we'll meet tomorrow. We'll go out there and look at it. I just want to make sure there's no private property around there. No problem. So we came out. I was in shock that this guy agreed to come the next day. So we came. So we came from down there from Ellie's side. And I got up here and I looked, oh, property pin? How can there be a property pin in a heiau? How can somebody own a heiau? You cannot own a heiau. Leave alone one person own part and another person another part. I thought to myself, okay, here comes the game. We're gonna wait now. Go back to my restaurant. It's cleanup day, right? So I'm cleaning everything up. And I'm inside there. My style is I grumble with my kupuna, and I'm not afraid to grumble with him. And I'm out loud, whining about this job you gave me, and now it's going to be complicated. Okay. So as it works, I went outside. I went next door, talked to the man in the water store. And for the life of me, I only knew his name when I walked in the door. I started talking to him, and out of my mouth came everything I had just done here. And I'm thinking, why am I telling this holy guy this story? This guy, this is not his business. I don't know him, but I couldn't stop. And his face was going, and I thought, oh, this guy thinks I'm nuts. Well, come to find out, he says to me, we need to talk. I said, okay, call me when you're done. He described to me exactly where this place was. Now I looking at him like, how does holy guy know that place there? Well, the holy guy live right there.
Really?
He live in the yurt over there.
So was he the one claiming ownership of this?
But he belongs there. He was called to that place too. And so when he said to me these things that he owns this spot, I was like, huh? I was floored, you know. So it's a constantly been evolving. There has been, I began this 4.5 years ago. We only began actually really cleaning a month and a half, 2 months ago, because there's so much politics inside, yeah. And it turned into a full-blown battle because we had to ask Maui Land and Pine permission, we thought. And it just kind of blew up. And now we found out that they don't own it. They don't own anything they claim in Honolua. I did the title search. They don't even have a deed for Honolua. The 3,000 plus acres they claim with a certain deed, they hand you the deed, you read the deed. There's no word and there's no name Honolua in the document.
Really? Wow.
Honest to God.
Wow.
So we began to assert ourselves, and we've been here. There's other lands, Honolua, we've done the same thing because we found that they don't own it. And even though my name is on the paperwork, I don't own it. I do not own it. I just happen to have the job of being in the front and securing it.
Yes.
And every day it becomes a little bit more clear what direction to go with that, because it is not about me. What am I going to do with all of it? It's for everybody. It's for everyone. It's for all the families who belong in the area first, the original families, and then other Hawaiians, and then other people. But we have to manage it correctly. And so getting people to understand the management process is where we're at now, because we cannot just go on top and make any kind. We must understand what we're doing. And so this area must be cleaned, it must be activated so that the kupuna from the other side can come through and help with that process. So that burning, the initial burning, is going to be calling the ancestors that lived here in this area. And of course the ali'i that we know was attached to this area, because without them helping us by talking to their mo'opuna that are here now, we cannot move forward. Their mo'opuna must understand what is happening. They must understand who they are and what they can do and what they should be doing. But we cannot do that without them. So that's what that initial burning is about. We're here. We're opening the door for you. You must come. And they will come. They're waiting. They're waiting to be able to come down and come through and help us. And this will have an effect that will radiate out, and it will take care of all of Maui, and it will help take care of all of Hawaii and all of the world. I believe that. This is a turning point from where we're at. We're peeling back the layers. We're returning to pono, ola, ola, pono. And this is where it starts.
Pono ola, the correct righteous life, the correct way.
Living correctly, living the way we were meant to be.
Meant to be, very good.
We've come too far away from it. This is another chamber in the heiau. We're not certain what this is for yet.
And there's another one over there.
That is the main chamber. And behind that tree, there's the entryway. So that's why we wanted to clean that path. We knew this chamber was here. We never knew any of that was there. So there's another chamber in the front. And come.
Okay.
Oh, well, we can't. The grass all grew up with the rain. But if you look over here, see this wall?
Oh yeah, look at that, right here.
It goes all the way up there.
Wow, this wall all the way back here.
And there's one more across there.
Look at that, it goes all the way back
You see
here.
that?
Wow, look at this. Look at this wall here, that is amazing.
There's one more that goes this way, and another
oh yeah,
one
look at that.
that goes up over there.
Wow, there's a huge wall over there.
Yeah. So we know that this area is where we're going to first begin our healing work.
Right here,
in
here. Wow.
We
Wow.
know that. There is a woman on the Big Island who's going to come, and she has the ability to walk through and identify what each area is for us. She already told us where to go to get the water, and there's a certain pohaku that we need to uncover, and we're working towards that. Yeah.
Lanakila, what has it been like for you to be involved in all of this?
The beginning in the process, it was very hard. A lot of people got mad. Kind of put my family in a limelight that they didn't necessarily want to be in, but they were forced into it because I knew I had to do it. There was contention. There was sometimes screaming and yelling on the street. screaming and yelling at Lapoa. I've lost a couple friends in the process, but I guess they weren't really my friends. Now, now that I've actually come and begun to do it with no reservations, no thought of, oh, they're gonna get mad or whatever, just do it. Things are good. Life is good. You know, we don't have any extras for anything, but we have what we need, and that's all you need.
What you need is always supplied, huh?
Yes, and people like Uncle Roy, Margaret, and Uncle Russell, Uncle Aaron, he comes and he cuts, you know, every Wednesday. He's dedicated, he comes and he just cuts. He doesn't care if anybody's here or not. We come behind and clean up. People are appearing, you know, things we need, people call and they go, as soon as I need this, phone rings as soon as you go home, guaranteed. I've got this, do you need it? It just works out.
It's there waiting for you.
Yeah.
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 And Maui Land and Pine, I used to be very afraid of them, and I've had 6 meetings at the table, started out with their lawyer and their land manager. I said, I don't want to talk to you anymore, so Ryan Churchill did come to the table. And I don't hold these individuals responsible. They're paid to do what they do. It's their job. And I actually like them. I think they're nice people. But it puts us like this, you know. And I worry about them because they are perpetuating a lie. They are perpetuating an injustice knowingly. If they didn't know before, they know now. And they continue to sit there. And I mean, they offered to settle by giving us lands. What did he say? Why can't you just take these unknown kuleanas that we have fenced in? And I was looking at him like, do you even know what you just admitted? First of all, they're not yours to give. Secondly, they're not mine to take. But I do know the family name. I know who belongs to them. I've searched every single award for this valley and every single one for Honokahau. I know who the family is, and we are dedicated to putting that information in their hand. Through my work and the support that I've had through it, it hopefully gives them the confidence to do it for themselves too.
Wow.
You know, and we'll walk with them.
Wow.
We'll walk with them.
Wow. You know what, Lanakila, you're a real inspiration. I mean, I'm just standing here listening to you and what you've done at this wonderful, amazing place. I'm just so inspired. And I just have to say to you, please don't stop. Please keep doing what you're doing.
We won't.
Please keep answering the
We
call.
can't stop at this point.
Can't stop at this point.
Can't
Well,
stop at this point.
I got news for you. We have to stop at this point because we got to wrap our show up. You won't stop.
No.
But we have to stop. And we want to say mahalo to you for being on Voices of Truth. To our viewers, mahalo for joining us at Honolua Heiau here, a very, very, very special place on Maui. And I'm Ehu Kahu Cardwell saying mahalo for watching. Remember, you can watch us on the web 24/7 on voicesoftruth.tv.com. So from Maui, until next time, ahui ho! Mahalo for watching Voices of Truth one-on-one with Hawaii's Future. Watch us on the web 24/7 at voicesoftruth.tv.com. You'll find all our shows, including this one, in case you want to see it again or share it with family and friends. Also view our weekly video commentaries at freehawaiitv.com. And check out our blog, published daily, at freehawaii.info. It's all part of the Free Hawaii Broadcasting Network.